The name of my book is The Perfect Storm, and it is a book written by Sebastian Junger. You can find the summary about the book under About, and Details About You. In 1991, for the first time in history, two cold fronts and a hurricane named Grace collide to form the perfect storm. However, for the men riding the Andrea Gale, the storm isn't so perfect. Returning to sea because their last catch was unsuccessful, the 6 men, Captain Billy, Bobby, Murph, Sully, Alfred, and Bugsy, return to the water for what will be the best catch of their lives. Disappointingly, however, their ice chest breaks, and the only way to keep their fish from spoiling before getting to the market would be to fight the storms. Because they are confident, they go for it and try to beat the storm. However, they are unsuccessful, and after the boat tips, they all drown and lose their lives. After reading the summary, you can go to Timeline and find out many different reasons why The Perfect Storm is the perfect book to have on a library bookshelf. The Perfect Storm is an amazing book that makes the reader feel happy at some parts and sad at others. It is a great book and an amazing and highly suggested read for any school student. For those of you who are unfamiliar with The Perfect Storm, it is a storm made up of 2 cold fronts and a hurricane named Grace. This kind of collision has never before happened and could make for some seriously dangerous weather. Stay tuned to read the book and find out just how perfect the storm is or isn't. This book is important to have on library bookshelves because it is full of lessons that will teach students about life. The Perfect Storm is a quality book for students to learn about the importance of having a strong work ethic. In the beginning of the book, the men realize that it is their duty to go back out and make more money by catching fish. After taking only 2 days off, the men use their strength to get back aboard and go back to work. Long days and rocky nights, yet the men don't complain, but continue to work their hardest. This storyline teaches a student to never give up and to push through the obstacles in order to work to the best of their ability. Here are 2 examples of people who have a strong work ethic and were recognized for their hard work. One of the most important lessons this book would provide would be to develop and maintain positive relationships. This is the most important quality for the men to have because they are trapped on a boat for a long period of time. The basis of having strong and positive relationships is the only way these 6 men will have a shot at surviving this intense journey. One main example used to teach the reader about positive relationships is when Murph gets his hand caught in a fishhook and is pulled overboard, but then Sully risked his own life to go after and save him. Positive relationships are a fantastic lesson to teach students because their lives will be a lot easier if they have positive people to lift them up and be there when they need. Throughout the book, the men show the reader how important it is to cooperate with one another. The prime example in the book is between Sully and Murph. At first, they do not get along, but after figuring each other out, they are able to get along. Getting along with others and working cooperatively with them is an important feature to learn at a young age, because you will be surrounded by and working with people your entire life. Having The Perfect Storm on library bookshelves would be a simple and exciting way to teach students how important it is to work well with others. Here is a real-life example of getting along with other people. This is a review from someone who read The Perfect Storm and commented on the page. The Perfect Storm is very useful for providing lots of different life lessons. It is very important for every student to read this book because you learn so many different, significant lessons, but the author, Sebastian, does so in an exciting and action-packed way. Also, it is very interesting and is organized very well so that a student of any age would be able to read and understand. Another important message in The Perfect Storm applies to communication. These men are trapped at sea in the perfect storm, but they are about to be swallowed by the water. They apply their communication skills in a responsible way and effectively report for help. This teaches the reader that when you can communicate responsibly, you might just achieve the help that you need. Below is a reenactment of the scene where she is calling the Air National Guard for help. The lessons taught in The Perfect Storm aren't just typical lessons, but they apply to real-life situations. While their second fishing journey didn't end up going well, they risked going through the storm in order to keep their fish from spoiling before getting to the market. This part of The Perfect Storm would teach students that sometimes things in life aren't always easy. Aiden Miller is a perfect real-life example of this lesson in the book. Although he has been put through many surgeries and lives his life in a wheelchair, Aiden, just like the 6 men on the boat, push through all of their difficulties to make the best of what they have. While most of the lessons in this book are direct, the next one is mainly indirect. When the ship arrives home from the first journey, Bobby gives all of his earnings to his ex-wife. He does this because he has owed her child support ever since they got divorced. This is an indirect message to the reader to not get divorced because it will end up with many different problems, unhealthy relationships, and financial. Understanding personal financial responsibilities and actions is an important lesson that is not taught in schools, but is covered very well in the book. Right before Billy leaves for another journey, he talks to his girlfriend, and she says, "All you ever worry about is the money." And he replies with, "I just want us to have everything we need and want us to be happy." This is an important lesson to the reader because it shows that you don't need money to be happy. However, the boyfriend understands his financial responsibility and will go through any extreme to take care of it. I appreciate you, the Board of Education, for sitting down and understanding why I believe The Perfect Storm is the great book to be put on library bookshelves.